My name is Zoe Jones and I work for Ayrshire College, and I work in the Core Skills department at the Ayr campus. So I deliver core skills to courses levels 4, 5 and 6 across communication, numeracy, ICT and the other additional units. I heard about VR first from the Learning Technology department. I think there'd been an email, maybe one of the blog entries that had come round, and it was really just highlighting this new sort of technology, an Oculus Rift coming out. And so it was in the back of my mind, and then in the summer I went to part of the Edinburgh Festival, and they had a technology section where you actually could put on the VR glasses and you were in this cinema experience. So they had mostly documentary films, a little bit of fiction film, and it opened my eyes up hugely to the experience of physically being immersed in a different world, which I'd never had before, and I wondered if that would be possible to kind of use in the classroom here. Well, I met with Joe from the Learning Technology team, and we really looked closely at what the process was of using VR and what the options were, and I hadn't understood that there were already 360-degree films up on YouTube that you could use. So we started to explore the BBC and we looked at some of the other resources that were there, and then together we made a set of playlists which we put on my YouTube channel, and then I was able to take away the glasses that he had, and he showed me how to download the app onto the phones, and then I was able to take it all into the classroom and use it with the students. I had two groups working with it. I had art and design level 6 looking at it, and they were really thinking about VR as a process of putting a viewer into a piece of artwork, so them actually putting on the goggles and being immersed in some form of artwork. So for them it was quite inspiring to see, you know, what can be done with technology, and it sits within our wider project of how we can use technology to bring artistic experiences alive, so moving away from a kind of a flat paper form of art to a more experiential form of art. Whereas the other group I had are travel and tourism at level 5, and all of them have their ambition to travel abroad. So for them it was more about being able to put the VR on and travel abroad, literally from the classroom. So we had one person was in the Sydney Opera House, and somebody else was in a car down the California route, and somebody else was over in India. So they were literally there looking around, and so they could describe it and experience it in a small way, but more of a way than we could have done just looking at images online. So for both groups it had quite a wow factor, and I think because it's still quite new for young people now, when they were in it they were surprised by it. Even though I described it, they didn't really quite get it till they put the headset on, and then everybody was like, oh my god, look, I can see this or I can hear this, and suddenly it kind of came alive for them. So it was quite a positive, quite a fun experience in the classroom, which was really good. I think that is probably the big challenge, how I take it forward now to learn with, and I think the Google Expeditions is a good next step. With Google Expeditions, I think you're in VR looking at a photograph, a very high quality photograph, and you can apply arrows and direct viewers to look at it, and then obviously somebody can be delivering a tour guide, factual information, so we're clear what we're looking at and why. So I think that would be a good next step to do, and I'd like to explore that with travel and tourism, having the students lead a guide, so having them research different areas, and then we all go in and look at it and they give us the facts on it. And then I suppose the other route is seeing if students can actually create the material that can go into 360 degrees, so looking at taking 360 photography or 360 film, so that they themselves have actually generated some of the material, which I think would give them a really good buy-in, and certainly for the art and travel classes, you know, there's going to be use of that in their industries in the future. So I think that's probably the next step. As a department, Core Skills are looking to invest in the technology, and I've put together a little note to explain to lecturers the sequential steps to set it up. So hopefully we'll see more use kind of across all the classes.